Welcome to the Industry Born podcast. I'm Cullen Reichart, your host, and today we'll be covering almost anything related to cannabis. Thanks again for joining the Industry Born podcast. Next time you're at the GreenBroz website, you can use the promo code IBP5 for an additional 5% off of your shopping cart, or mention the Industry Born podcast to your sales representative for additional discounts. All right. Hey, Jay, what's up, man? Welcome to the Industry Born podcast. How are you?
I'm doing great, Colin. Thanks for having me on, man. Great to see you again.
Yeah. I mean, we it's funny. We're kind of, dabbling and doing some business together. I was so impressed when I saw your product on LinkedIn. Duh. and of course you're banging it out over there. I mean, you're putting out a video every 10 minutes, so good for you. But I just thought that it's such a, and it's not simple. I mean, it's simplistic in that it's just a simple solution, but it's fucking elegant, right? I mean,
Thank you.
it really is. It's and that's some of the best solutions that there are. Is like, hey, yeah, I know you probably thought of this, but I executed it, and it's executed very well. Thank you.
Thank you. Yeah, thanks. I've spent a lot of time working on this. I mean, it's been years in R&D and development, and really, I do everything in the field. So every time I make a sale, every time I close a deal, I set up the customer, usually myself. I go on site. I make sure they're using it properly, that they're actually utilizing the hangers properly in the system.
Yeah.
And from there, we get all the video, we get all the media, and that's what it's all about. Is like, showcasing how simple this is. It really is simple,
Yeah.
and yet it's super complicated in the setup because there's so many different applications. Like every grower is custom.
Yeah.
Like every grower, I never met a grower that's like every grower is the best grower on the planet.
Oh, yeah.
They all got their own. They're all. You already know. I'm right there too. I'm a grower. I'm the best one on the planet.
Yeah.
And
I
like,
guarantee
and
your
everybody's
weed is the
custom.
best weed. That's it. Guaranteed.
Absolutely. And if it's not, dude, then you're,
And what are you doing?
then I don't know.
Yeah.
What are you doing? You should
Yeah.
feel like you got the best shit. And if you don't, then I mean, it's not wrong. I guess you're just still in learning, and
Yeah.
it's a constant learn. You're constantly learning,
Yeah.
constantly figuring out new nuances and new systems, new workflow, all that.
Yeah.
And really being boots on the ground and establishing relationships and doing the harvest with the customers. Dude, that's my wheelhouse. I love it because
Yeah.
I'm figuring out more stuff all the time. I'm fine tuning the products. And developing more products because again, most people already have a setup. They've already got a system. They're already doing something. And so we're trying to integrate with that because, especially with the price of cannabis in the fucking gutter, like, dude, nobody's got money.
Yeah.
So it's not like it used to be. It used to be at the end of harvest, people were caked up and they could go spend money and, go to Bali for 6 months and
Yeah.
go do whatever they want. And now it's like, dude, trimmers used to have a life. They used to, they could trim for 2-3 months, store up a nut for the year and go on vacation to Baja or, go
Yeah,
surfing for
man,
whatever.
the Euros, man, all the fucking Euros used to come over here and do all that trim work, man, and fucking go back.
Yes.
They take their vacation 2 months, come here, trim, go back to Europe and live in that socialist fucking world they live over there. With a whole bunch of fucking loot in their pocket.
I know, dude. And now it was 250. I remember when I started, it was 250 a pound to trim all day. Like that's what you pay trimmers, 250. Then it got down to like $20 an hour over the past few years, and now I don't even know if they're getting that. I hear like $70 a pound or $100 a pound, and we have come a long way with trim machines that kind of speed up the process, and you just kind of can fine tune it. But that being said, like, dude, I feel like trimmers need a union to stay alive. They need like some
Hey,
they need
don't
some
be talking
support or
like
something.
that, bro. You're gonna bring down the bad people, man.
I know. Well, dude, I'm compassionate. I sympathize for them because, like,
Yeah.
again, dude, it's like it's hard for them. It's just as hard for the growers now because,
Oh yeah.
dude, they can't even move their product. It's
Yeah.
like all the legacy guys. I talked to a guy in Humboldt yesterday, and he's involved with a store out there. The store's closing, right? He's going back to union work, and he said in Trinity County, he was driving through the hills the other day, and all it is, it's like empty hoop houses, torn plastic blowing in the wind,
Yeah.
ghost town. And so
Yeah.
the economy has just tanked. Everybody's sitting on flour. They can't move it. The hair salons are closing. The shoe stores are closing.
Yeah.
All the stores are boarding up because nobody's got money to spend in the community. They can't even get their hair cut. So
I mean, it's a
it's
tragedy.
devastating.
It's a fucking
It
tragedy, and
it is, and I don't know. I don't think that we could put it on legalization as much as just huge operations getting away with dirty work, doing all the cartels or whatever that are doing these massive, we saw it up here in Oregon last year and the year before, quote unquote hemp grows,
Yeah.
guys doing hundreds of acres of hemp, and it's all auto and it's all depot, and it's like it just tanked the market.
Yeah.
Really did.
Well,
And it's sad
they're growing
because
all that weed inside those hemp fields,
totally,
and they're
dude,
fucking
and
crushing the black market. And
for sure.
I mean, we saw it hit Oregon first. Of course, Oregon was the first state to go to
Yep.
sub $300 a pound of cannabis, and
Yep.
now you're seeing that in NorCal, which used to be the mecca of
Yep.
cannabis. And any industry like this is going to go through these struggles. The question, we're principally earn our money on trimmers. I mean, I make a lot of equipment, but trimming market, as this changes, you see that flatten out too. And there's a lot of companies like mine who are struggling as well. It's kind of the nature of the thing, because it's an unknown market, and you got the government with their
Yeah.
fucking dick in the swill so deep that you can't even think straight. And they're
Yep.
they're fucking the system so hard. I hate
Totally.
it. I hate the way they've handled this system. Like,
Yeah.
I know that capitalist, just raw, pure, greedy capitalism is filthy. But on the other
Yeah.
side of it, dude, if you go and you get those raw, greedy capitalists who don't know how to be capitalists, and they become government officials, and all they do is
Oh
fucking
man.
steal. They're just
Yeah.
stealing off the top, and they think, oh,
Yeah.
I could tax it here, and I could tax it there, I could tax it this, and then you're like,
Yeah.
what in the fuck?
Yeah.
You can't
It's
tax it
devastated
that
the
many
market,
times,
dude.
bro.
Yeah. It's unfortunately, legalization, it brings peace of mind, and
Right.
it brings no money. It's like, yeah, you can do it legally now, but you can't make any money.
Yeah.
I hate to say it, but like, if you want to make money, you got to ship it to China, or I don't even know, just some illicit market, and then you're back to doing dirt that doesn't feel good. But shit, that's what we did our whole, my whole career in the cannabis space was shady. Was shipping out boxes and looking over my shoulder, and I got out of it. I'm blessed to be out of it. Blessed because that life doesn't feel good.
Yeah.
Really just doesn't feel good to look over your shoulder,
Yeah.
even though the money's there. And that it's a
I
man.
mean,
It's tough, man.
there is good money still to be made. Obviously, it's just trying to find the balance. And now you're in a business
Yeah.
situation, where like what you're doing now with the dry flower gig, right? I mean, you're growing like a natural, normal kind of business, right? You're learning how to manufacture, you're learning how to distribute,
Yep.
you're learning how to install, you're doing all these things, and then you're going to be
Yeah.
building people into those roles as you grow and you become more efficient at it. And that's kind of the normal thing. Cannabis didn't really get that, because they were
Yeah.
like, they had
Totally.
this fucking thing, and it was
Yeah.
gold. They were
Literally
growing
worth more than
gold.
gold.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, it's
And
been a
when,
steep learning curve for me, man.
yeah.
Again, coming from the cannabis space, I'm just a high school graduate. When I got out of high school, I was already hustling weed full time. Like that's
Yeah.
all I did. And so I never even, I just wanted to surf and smoke weed and eat at my favorite restaurant every day, eat, sleep, surf, and hustle.
Yeah.
And that was good enough. That was great.
It
It
was
was a good
great.
lifestyle.
Come on, man. It
I mean, it
wasn't
doesn't
good
get any
enough. It
better.
was great.
It was great, dude. It really was great. And then, then came children and more responsibility, and everything. It just,
Yeah.
shit.
Like
Yeah,
normal
just
shit,
so
man.
much
You grow up
normal
and
shit. Yeah.
you get the weight of the world on your shoulders, bro. That's how
Oh
it
man, and
goes.
I've got 4 kids with my ex-wife, and now I have my new wife, and I have 3 children. So it's like the weight's
Man,
still on my
you
shoulders,
are
and I'm just
pace
trying to.
setting. Yeah. My little brother's like that, dude. He got kids all over the place. I'm like, God, dude, how on earth? It's impressive. It's impressive.
It's a blessing and a struggle.
Yeah, for
I
sure.
would trade for the world, and it's like it's so difficult, man. It's so hard to live and get by and make money legit, dude.
Yeah,
And I'm
that's always the struggle. I mean, that's business in general, right? I mean, that's
yeah,
the thing that comes with not having that fucking commodity that we all got used
yeah,
to. That cannabis money was great money. Um, and now we find ourselves in that. I mean, if you look at, this always blows my mind. Like, look at a company, I don't know, Hewlett Packard, 400 some thousand employees, right? and look at the money that they're
Crazy.
bringing in, right? You know,
Yep.
and you're like, well, what does it take to run that fucking thing?
Yeah. Dude, that's a lot of moving
A
parts,
lot of
man.
moving
Holy
parts,
moly.
man, you know, and the systems get bigger, and you know, as you're growing up through business, like what we've done. I mean, I was in my garage in 2012 and inventing shit, and now, you know, we're multinational, you know, a multi-million-dollar company, just fucking crushing it in some respects, and then
Nice. Yeah.
struggling some days day to day. You know, had a couple
Yeah.
have a bad month, and you're like, dude, we just don't. I mean, I just can't carry the kind of capital I need to carry to cover the
Yeah.
overhead if things get tight. And now things are fucking weird, and I'm like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
You know, but we're always working on expanding our product line, just like you're doing. You know, you're going, okay,
Yeah.
well, I've got to make sure that I'm getting into this because this is where this is at. We're doing our ISO certification internally so that we can do things for you. We can do things for other companies that may not be
Yeah.
cannabis
Yeah.
oriented. You know, we can start to build, because I built a manufacturing company with my cannabis money. I built a manufacturing company, right?
Nice.
So
Yep.
that's what I did, and now I'm trying to figure out how to run one of those instead of a cannabis company, because the cannabis company was great. I
Yeah.
mean, trimmers, when trimmers were fucking hot, they're selling like hotcakes. You're killing the game, you know,
Yeah.
and they still
Totally.
are. They're still good machines, but the market is not what it was 3 years ago.
I know. Yeah.
You know,
Yeah. I
so
know. With the prices tanking, it's affecting the picks and shovels.
yeah, it
You
is.
know, and at the same time, they've got to have it. Like
Yeah, yeah,
you can't get away without a trimmer, dude. You
yeah.
have to have that machine. You
You
have
do,
to,
you do.
because you're not going to pay people, you know, $250 a pound to trim it straight up.
No,
There's no way.
no, I can't do it.
Just with prices
And look
under
at the
200.
size too. I mean, let's just say you could afford it, but not for 1,000 pounds. You know,
That's right.
not 1,000. Some of these
That's right.
companies are pulling down. Like we have a company here that pulls down 10,000 pounds a week. What? How do you do that?
Yeah.
Like, what is
There's no,
that?
yeah.
That's like
You
5,000 trimmers on board.
dude, there's your pay, that, and that payroll's off the chart,
Yeah,
dude, to pay those guys. I mean,
fuck,
it's
it's
crazy. It's,
unreal.
you know, it's really about, you just got to be on the front lines, you know, and a real, you know, hustler entrepreneur.
Yeah,
You've got to be on the front line and really interested in what you're doing, and
yeah,
passionate, so that you can, you know, roll with the punches and pivot on a dime.
yeah,
Because, you know, if you get stuck and hung up on, like, it's got to be this way, or I'm only doing like this, you're screwed, man. You
yeah.
really,
That
you know,
agility
it's
is
not always
key,
what you
man.
want,
Yeah,
but you've got to be, you know, able to roll with the punches, dude,
yeah.
because it's the market's always changing.
Yeah,
You know, it
especially
really
in
is.
this,
It's
because it
not.
hasn't
It's
it hasn't really settled. And we had these conversations internally, like, well, maybe the market's settling. I'm like, it's fucking not settled, man. And we have multiple states that aren't
no.
even opened up. We, you know,
Yep.
I would say you're going to see settlement when they federally change it, because then you're going to see interstate commerce, and that's going to fucking all.
Yeah.
That's when it gets fucking
Yeah.
interesting. You know what I mean? Because then you'll be growing it
Yep.
here, shipping it there to be processed, and from there you'll be
Yep.
distributing. You know, and that's going to fuck
Yeah.
everything up. You know, then we're going to be talking
It,
about
it
putting in
is, and it.
massive processing facilities in the Midwest somewhere.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. At that point, it's going to be about brand recognition. You
Yeah.
know, it's all about the brand, because there's so much supply.
Yeah.
There's ridiculous supply, and when it's legal and you can ship from Oregon to Tennessee to New
Yeah.
York, it's going to be about brand name, and everybody's going to just buy
Yeah.
the brand. It's just because there's so much supply. It's like, that doesn't matter. It's people want to wear, you know, Nike because Tiger's wearing Nike or whatever.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's like
Yeah.
it's brand recognition. You got to build that brand
Yeah.
to stay on the forefront, dude,
Yeah.
or nobody's gonna be hearing you. It's not gonna be about cost. They want top
It's
shelf.
always been
They
about that, though. I mean, in every other industry, you know, it's so funny. I think that Nike's a great opportunity to talk about that whole concept, man, because literally, like, Nike made a shoe that everybody thought they had to have, and knee surgeries went from like 1 in a fucking 10,000 to fucking 10,000 out of 10,000 runners are getting knee surgeries because they're running in these fucked up shoes. And Nike, no one says
right,
that. It's fucking Nike, you know, because they've got, you know, they've
yeah,
got Jordan, they got all these big names on it, and yeah, they've got this fucking brand. No one sees the dirtiness or the problems
yeah.
with the design of something like that, right? But we all buy that shit. I mean, I got Nike shoes and shit all over
I
the
got
fucking place. You know what I mean?
all day, all day. They're crushing, dude. I aspire to be larger than Nike.
Yeah,
You know, those
right.
guys do, and it's about brand. It's about,
It
you know,
is.
selling T-shirts and hats, and like,
Yeah,
in the name. You know, it's like, it's
yeah,
really about the name. It's like, you know, people wear cookies
yeah.
because they want to show you they smoke weed.
I got a
That's why
fucking.
they wear
We got a
cookies
we got a
clothing.
store in the mall down here. 70% of the gear in that store. It's a t-shirt shop. 70% of it's fucking cookies. It's
Yeah,
not a cookie store. It is a
right,
store
right,
that sells
right.
mostly cookies shit.
Yeah, it's cookies is hot, dude,
Yeah.
because weed's blowing up,
Yeah.
legalization is expanding,
Yeah.
and now you just want to show people you smoke weed, so you wear cookie shit,
Yeah.
and there's really not another option. What else is there that will it's so popular, everybody, it's a almost a household name now. Like if you got cookies, you smoke weed.
Yeah.
And people want to come out of the closet and be like, I'm cool. I smoke weed. Check it out. I smoke weed. Look at my shirt. I see this. This means I smoke weed. I like
Cookies,
weed.
bro.
And it's not wrong. It's not wrong.
It is what it is.
But
But
it
how?
is what
So
it is.
listen, man.
But
I mean, you said you spent a couple. You've spent a couple years now, kind of getting DriFlower dialed in a little bit.
yeah,
Yeah, and I see
yep,
online, and because that's the only place I ever go is LinkedIn. But I think you post most of your stuff there anyway. And I see you kind of. I'm like, I didn't know he made that. I didn't know he did that. And I mean, all the different racking systems. That's what you're talking about.
yeah,
Like when you're talking about like having to deal with this guy the way he does it versus that guy is just like
yeah,
you
for
have these
sure.
different opportunities. Yeah.
Yeah, and every time I meet somebody new that's got some special shit going on, I try to customize. I'm constantly making new parts
Yeah.
for that
I
guy
love the
because he's got
modularity
this
kind of
stuff.
thing. I think that was really cool. It's what I caught out of that was like, oh, this is really. I mean, it's not 100, like it's not Legos yet, but it's fucking close. You know
It's
what I mean?
close.
Yeah.
It's erector set.
Yeah,
It's
erector set.
erector
Yeah.
set. So it's like
Yeah.
it doesn't matter what you got. Like the hanger is the flagship, and the
Yeah.
different size hangers depending on your space. And then how do we modularly build that to your space
Yeah.
to make the most use of your space, and then be able to break it all down and make it disappear so that you don't have all these fucking racks that are in the way
Right.
that either empty or full. They're the same rack.
Yeah.
Like we want it when you're not using it. We want that shit to disappear because
Yeah.
space is a premium.
Yeah,
You
dude.
need storage
For
space, you
sure,
need bucking
man.
space, you need like,
Yeah.
dude, who wants to store a bunch of shipping containers in
Well,
your warehouse
it's so funny. Like
and then they're
they don't
sitting
think
there full
about
or
that.
empty?
They don't think about how much room they need to dry it. I'm like, you see how much you got growing it? You need that much room to fucking
Yes.
dry it, bro. Just don't be
Yeah.
dumb.
You should see these guys that are going large scale drying facilities that I'm working with, and it's like they're like, okay, we've got 100,000 square feet. We want to do 80,000 square feet of drying. And I'm like, dude, our systems are such that when you dry it and you bring it down into totes, it actually doesn't condense that much. If you got 50,000 square feet of drying, you need like 30,000 square feet of storage for that material because
Yeah.
you've already consolidated it and condensed it in at the front end of the drying process.
Yeah.
So when it comes off our hangers, it's already, dude, it still takes up a ton of space because
Yep.
it's a ton of material in there. And so like, dude, like all these huge facilities that are coming online, they want to drive 20, 30, 50,000 pounds at a time, but they don't want to spend the fucking $100,000 on Unistrut that they got to spend to set it up. They don't understand that, like, dude, they
Dude.
have all these
Wait,
ideas
wait,
of
wait, wait,
drying
wait. All
massive
right.
amounts of
So this
weed.
is this is the argument, right? This is the whole thing. Like they go, oh, I need to grow more weed. I'm like, dude, you don't know what to do with the weed you're growing. Like, come on, man. Let's
That's
talk
right.
about that. You really need to think about the whole process here, and they never have. I remember when going to Colorado. I've said this a bunch of times on this podcast, but going to Colorado with the initial big, like the first. Colorado did it like McDonald's first. They came out of the chute with it. Unlike California, California had established growing mechanisms in the Emerald Triangle that were really strong. But Colorado was like, oh no, we're gonna do fucking every day. I'm gonna harvest this X Y Z. And
Yeah,
they
yeah.
made these machines that were pumping out weed. And I'm going to the grow rooms like, oh, this is fucking magnificent, dude. I'm like, where do you dry it? And they're like, oh yeah, well, we got 3 feet on top of the room that we still have left over. So they're literally fucking crawling through
Dude.
in the dark
Oh my
to
god.
hang shit on hangers in a 3 foot crawl space. I'm like,
Yep.
you guys really thought this one out, bro.
Dude,
Really.
you should see. I've been to some of the. I don't want to say names, but I've been to some of the biggest, legit growers in the country. They're using fucking wire hangers, dude, and like putting it in attics, just like you said. It's like, dude, you guys, you're pumping out $1 million a week in product, and you're using wire hangers, and you're lifting it up into an attic crawl space.
Yeah.
It's like, dude, it's so inefficient and so.
Unsatisfactory. It's so not sanitary. It is not
No, God,
good.
no. It's not efficient. It's not that. It's like,
Yeah.
the bottom line is people used to be you had to just make it to the finish line, and then you worry about drying that shit because the choppers might come in, the
Yeah.
thieves
Yeah.
might come in, the mold might get you, the weather, all those things. And now, you can essentially grow as much as you want,
Yeah.
and so dry space is really a premium. Like fuck, last year and the year before, I saw acres and acres rot. Guys are like, I'm going to do 10 acres. I'm going to do 20 acres under the hemp license and just blow it up.
Oh my God.
And then it came down to the end. They only harvested a couple acres and the rest is like in the fucking field rotting.
Yeah.
You know,
I
and so like
remember when the farm bill passed and everybody was like, "Fuck, I'm gonna go." I had guys calling me like "Okay, so we're gonna do this," and I'm talking to them in June and July, right? And they're like, "Hey, man, I'm planting 100 acres." I'm like, "What?
for what?
Why? What?
You're never gonna knock it
Fuck?
down,
You're
dude.
never gonna
Yeah.
figure that out." So,
Yep.
can you make me machines? Yeah, I could do it, but do you have a
Yep.
building? Well, no. Okay, all right. Do you have a concrete slab?
Yeah.
Well, no. Okay. All right. So we're not ready
Yep.
for this conversation. We need to, we need to talk
Yep.
about this 18 months from now. Let's start fucking getting your zoning together. Let's start planning this out. I can get you any fucking piece of equipment made that you need made. That's not a problem. But you're talking about doing something in 3 fucking months. Do you have any idea how much an acre of fucking cannabis or hemp is?
Totally.
Let alone 100?
Yeah.
100.
Yeah. Dude, 100 is a huge chunk.
That's
I
a
mean,
massive amount of shit.
it's fucking massive, dude. You know, my first large scale we knocked down was like 35 acres, and it took
That's massive.
it took all of a month with like 100 people to go through it 3 times. You know, like we take all the tops
Yeah.
and just get all of it, and we need by the time we made it all the way through the 35
back
acres after
around.
like 3 rounds. Dude, it was like, here comes the weather. It looked like we hadn't even touched the patch, right? Because we just got all the tops, came back, and they cleaned up. And by the time they finally got, you know, the weather came around after a month of 3 harvests, it looked like you hadn't touched the patch, and it's now all rotting.
Yeah.
So it was like, dude, you guys, you're just finding the balance of growing. You know, you really don't want to grow more than you can dry and harvest
Process,
and
yeah, because
comfortably and
it's
know
just
that.
a waste. It's a complete waste of
Yes.
energy and space, you know. So I
Yep.
mean, if you're gonna go, you know, if you're gonna go down that road, you've got to be looking at it differently. You got to look at it like, how do I, you know, this is why fucking farmers have combines. I mean, farmers didn't grow
Yeah.
hundreds of acres of wheat when they didn't have a fucking combine. You know what I
For
mean?
sure, dude.
When they had a horse,
Yeah, that
they
sickle
didn't do
didn't
that
do it.
shit.
That's right. That's right. So, you know, with technology comes the ability to scale.
Right.
And in cannabis, it's like you can't, if you want premium flower, dude, you've got, it's just like tomatoes or strawberries. Like you can't machine pick strawberries.
Yeah.
You got to go pick those by hand. It's just like
Yeah.
you can't, it's got, some things are always going to be a little bit more labor intensive.
I saw a berry picker. There's a robot berry picker that's coming on, baby. It's coming.
Really?
Yeah. So, but
Even raspberries, because they're
I
so
don't know about
delicate.
raspberries,
You know?
dude. I think strawberries on the list, but I don't know about raspberries.
Yeah, it's like they're so delicate, and
Right.
I don't know. It's like people need jobs, man. Guys, pickers need jobs. They need work.
Oh
You
my
know,
God,
it's
dude.
just they need it. We can't, if it all goes automated, there's going to be less people, more machines, and people are going to starve off because they can't fucking eat and they can't pay their bills because they got no
Can't afford to
work.
buy the food that's being picked by the machines because the people who are
That's
paying
right.
for the machines to pick the food aren't giving that shit away for free, bro. That's not
That's
what's going
right, dude.
on. The prices aren't going
That's
down.
right. Yeah, it's that balance, man. You know, I like to put people to work. I don't want to automate everything. I'd like to. You know,
I
my
do. So I
long-term
want to
goal.
automate everything, but I want to be the guy that sells it.
Not wrong. It's not wrong, you know.
But I hear you,
You
dude.
know,
I mean,
my
like,
long
listen. I
term.
mean, there's listen. That you know. I mean, this is what's. I think this is cool, and I don't know but basically, you know, there's this kind of throwback to kind of the old school. Like you see guys going back and saying, you know what? No, I want to learn how to be a farrier. I want to learn how to, you know, I want to learn how to, like one of my guys I used to had hired was a cord weaner. Cord weaner. He made shoes, right? So I'm like,
Oh.
it's like these are guys that like kids are now going back and trying to learn these old school things that you know the way people used to do things and historically. I think that renaissance is pretty cool. But honestly, you know, how do you survive in this world and you know if you're not doing some kind of production or working for a company?
I know.
You know,
I know it's hard, man. I look forward to, you know, bringing the DriFlower Solution Company forward, where, you know, I'm going to have a team of people that we go out and harvest your weed for you, bring it back to our facility,
great,
and
man.
process it right.
Yeah.
Because, you know, a lot of people know a lot about growing weed, but as far as like knocking it down, harvesting it, getting it produced in a timely manner and proper, like that's largely overlooked, especially with new growers coming online that they have no fucking idea the process of, harvesting and properly getting it into a bag. It's a lot. There's a lot to it. It's not that simple. There's a
Yeah.
lot of considerations to get it done right. There's just so many considerations,
Yeah.
especially with outdoor, because it rots.
Yeah.
Indoor,
Yeah.
a little less so. It's
You got lots
everything's a
of
little
risks.
more
You
predictable.
got lots of risks all the way around, man. I mean,
Yeah.
there's that window. There's this that you have this little space of just
Yep.
like death, where
Yeah.
anything, where it can all just go to shit, and you're like,
Yeah.
holy fuck, all this time here, and then it can just go to shit right here, and people try and force that window, and try and force that to make that. Not what it is, but the more you
Yep.
fuck with that, the more danger zone you live in, and especially you see it, of course, with outdoor because the volume is so high. Plus, you don't have
Yep.
in moving it to an indoor or to a drying facility. I mean, you're still
Yeah.
exposed to everything that's living out in the outdoors, and like here in
Yep.
Vegas, it's crazy. We have fucking aspergillus. We have this is the fucking driest fucking place in the world, dude, and we got mold out the butt. We
Yep.
got mold.
Yeah.
Like, why do you have
Really, and
mold,
it's so
dude? Why do
dry
we
out
have
there. Really.
water? You know?
Well, when
Right.
it goes too long, it just molds naturally. It
Yeah.
will rot at some point.
It's got
That's
yeah.
what it
I mean,
does.
right, exactly. It's gonna go bad.
So
Yeah.
it's gonna go bad. Yeah, it's just a commodity. It's a food.
Yeah.
It's a
Yeah.
vegetable or whatever. It's a herb.
Yeah.
It's growing. It's living.
my
Everything has its
grandfather,
season.
my grandfather used to go up to the Central Valley when they would pick because they harvest up there, and then all the stuff that's overripe. It's ripe, but they can't take it to market because it's already ripe, right? So
Yep.
they have mountains of shit that's going to waste because it didn't get harvested
Hmm.
in time, right? So he would go up and they just give it away. So he would come back with his fucking Buick with a trunk full of fucking onions, dude. Like
Oh
300
shit.
fucking pounds of onions. I'm like, what? What in the fucking world are we gonna do with 300 pounds of red onions, bro? Your car stinks, and I'm never eating 300 pounds of onions. And then they got rotten in the truck by the time, it's just like
Yeah.
holy shit,
Yep.
man. But yeah, it's like
Totally.
that's commodities for you, dude. It's food. It's a
Yeah.
biomass. It's not unless you can get it down. Like if you could pull it off and dry it as you're moving it from this location to
Yeah.
that location, now
Yep.
you're making money.
Yep.
Yeah.
Totally. Well, I think I think the market's gonna come back up this year. In Oregon, there's limited water. The law enforcement's really cracked down on the quote unquote hemp license. So you're not seeing any of the large, grows that we saw
Yeah.
last couple of years that were just bananas. Not up here anyway. I don't know how it is in like, Palm Desert or, California area where
Yeah.
these guys are getting away with it, but it's not happening up here. So, most people I know are still sitting on a lot of flower from last year, even depots from last year. They're still sitting on.
Really.
And so, with grand solar minimum coming through, which I see happening, it's gonna fuck up the weather, and it should bring the value back up when it rains early, and
Yeah.
everything gets destroyed, it's sad for some people, but it's gonna help the market, because
Yeah. Well, I
it's
mean,
devastated right now.
the whole country's kind of sitting in that spot, right? We're all fucking waiting for some sort of market correction, right? I
Yeah,
mean,
yeah,
and that's like a microcosm of what's really going on around the world here. But
yep,
yeah, I mean, it will correct itself if the government can get their fucking dirty little fingers out of that pie and let it move a little bit. I'm not saying don't regulate, and I'm not saying don't
yeah, yeah,
tax, regulate, but be fucking reasonable, man.
yeah.
Don't be greedy. These pricks think that they think that the shit's fucking free,
Well,
and it's just not, dude. There's livelihoods at stake, and there's families and people working hard to make this
yep,
you make this a valuable value add proposition, and these people think that that's all nothing. It's free.
yeah.
Well, it's free
Well,
money.
it used
No,
to
like,
be
look how
worth
valuable it is.
gold.
Yeah,
It used to be worth more than gold, and now because of the market's tanked, it's like it hasn't corrected with
yeah,
licensing and taxation. It
yeah,
hasn't even come close, So
yeah.
it's like they're still trying to get those taxes,
Right.
and it's putting everybody out of business.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know
No.
one legal rec farm in Oregon that's not backdooring shit to pay their bills. Straight up, like you
Yeah.
can't pay your bills, dude. You can't, and
Yeah,
it's
yeah,
sad to
yeah.
say
Well,
nobody wants to
right.
do
So I
it.
mean,
And
if you're basing the fees and taxation on a $6,000 pound, you're fucked,
good
man. You know
God,
what I
dude,
mean? That's
it's not.
20 years ago, bro. You're not
Yeah,
kidding.
yeah, that's right. Yep, I actually paid 5,300 one time for a pound
I used to
in a
sell my
pinch back in
when
like
I was in San Diego. I sold my sour
'97.
diesel for $6,000.
Damn.
I know, man. It was fucking magic.
That's
That was the. I mean,
that's
that's when you got a little grow in your fucking garage and you're making an extra
yep,
12 grand a month.
totally.
You know, you're like,
Totally, dude. It used to be so good, even though it was sketchy. It was like
yeah.
as soon as you got it harvested, it moved. You didn't have any
Yeah,
struggle
they were
moving it
waiting.
ever.
People waiting for
They're
you.
waiting for it.
Yeah,
They're just waiting.
yeah.
And now it's blown out, dude. Everybody's growing. They're all
And
fucking
it's all fire. I mean,
massive.
even the outdoor stuff is fire as fuck. It's all good
It
stuff. You
is.
can't
It
do
is.
nothing
It's
about it.
really nice. The genetics have come a long way,
Yeah,
and so have amendments. You
yeah,
know, fucking ferts have come a long way, dude, to make it turnkey to grow fire and not even know what the fuck you're doing.
yeah, yeah.
Simple
You can be
recipe.
basically functionally illiterate and still grow weed now.
Dude, literally,
I
yes.
didn't say that.
So
I
it's
didn't mean that to anybody out there who's a good grower. I'm just talking like.
whatever, you know, it is what it is. It's like,
Do you remember Phototron, bro? Do you remember the Phototron?
oh yeah, fuck
Yeah,
yeah, yeah,
that
dude,
was my introduction. That was my introduction to
yeah,
weed. Yeah,
nice. The
the
Phototron,
Phototron.
yeah, that's old school right there.
Yeah,
That was small scale, you know,
yeah,
small scale, but it's a good start. You know,
yeah.
people
That
wanted
was
to do
interesting.
to grow.
Yeah,
Yeah,
uh,
it's a way to get your foot in the door and practice.
I wasn't any
You
good
know,
at it
but
then either. That was my deal.
nah,
I
that
never
didn't
good
work.
at
I
growing.
tried that. That didn't. You know, outdoors always been my niche. You know,
Yeah,
I enjoy. I enjoy. I hate to say it. I enjoy just being in the field. I enjoy hand watering. I enjoy
yeah,
being around the
yeah,
plants. You know, it's
yeah,
so there's selling potatoes and then there's eating potatoes. And
yeah,
a lot of these days, everybody's making selling potatoes. When you go to eat it, it tastes like shit.
yeah,
You know, like I'm all about the compost teas and the organics and
yeah,
the stuff that really lends to like a product that has depth,
yeah,
really like depth and flavor and nose that isn't on the surface. That it
yeah,
smokes well. It's smooth. You get that flavor on the way out. You know,
yeah,
not just when you smell it, right? But
yeah,
when you're actually smoking it, you have that full flavor experience, and it's hard to get that with salts, dude. I hate to say
yeah,
it. You can get fire. It looks good, smells good, has good terps, and then when you burn it, it's like, it's all right. But most people don't know what fire is. They haven't grown their whole life. They haven't
yeah.
knocked down 50 crops or 100 patches of every which way to know and personally taste and experiment and have the direct experience of what is it? What do what's the product?
Yeah.
And I've just grown every way at one time or another to test, and also of my buddies. I've tested all their shit. I've smoked all
Yeah.
their weed, all their hydro, all their dirt, all their organic, all their living beds, all their cocoa pots, like all of it. And from in my experience, dude, the best is just straight up organic living beds, and really even indoor. Like
Yeah.
indoor with living beds and like organic ferts for me is like, dude, the nose, you can't beat it. The flavor,
Yeah.
can't beat it.
So we got these
I mean, you
guys
can't
down here in
sun-grown.
Vegas that do that. It's the first time I've actually seen it indoors. I went over to visit their facility, and Fleur here in Vegas, and their beds are they don't they just keep the beds. It's perpetual,
Yeah,
right? So they just
yeah,
cut the
yeah, yeah.
plant, and that shit just
Yep,
goes right back in, and they have all the buds
totally.
and all that shit going on inside there, and it was really really impressive to see that level of attention being paid to the
Yep,
soil in an indoor situation, and
yeah,
to see the quality coming out of it was pretty stunning.
yeah.
And I'd put their flower I'd put their flower on par with anybody here in the valley for sure.
Nice.
It's just not the same thing. And the other thing that they
Yeah,
do, which I think is cool, is they have a chef. So they when they do their edibles are based on like fucking
nice.
chef guy that makes these
Yeah,
things. And it's not just like
yep.
you know they're not half-assing this thing. They got it all the way down to science. So it's pretty cool. They're really kind of a
It
boutique thing. It's really cool.
and it is boutique. Doing that, it's going to be a little bit sloppier. It's going to be a little more, as far as like cleanliness in the room. It's dirt, dude. You got bugs in there and shit and worms, and it is a little bit sloppier. It is a little bit more labor intensive, but in the end, you get a better product.
Yeah,
If you're putting a lot more attention on it, you really have to be more involved with it. You've
yeah.
got to see the plants individually. You got to be in there with them. You can't just flip it and forget it and have it on a drip. It's
See,
not,
that was my thing. I
that's them
couldn't. That's
selling
why.
potatoes.
That's why I gave up growing, man. Because I was the kind of guy. I was the guy that was like, whatever, man. The lights are on. It's good. Come back
Not
and
wrong, dude.
there's all these webs all over. You're like, what in the fuck?
Oh, dude, I have done, yeah, so many spider mites, man. I get horror stories of all the fucking spider mites and
Oh my
yeah, dude,
god.
all the nasty shit that I've sprayed. Just, oh
Yeah.
my god,
Yeah.
dude.
I mean,
And learning learning really that like if you're on top of it, dude, you can use Bronner's soap and Impede for spider mites all day long,
Yeah.
like all day, dude. And it takes care of them as long as you're on top of it,
Yeah.
and it's preventative.
Yeah.
You know, you got to you can't wait till you see them.
No, it's
You got to
way
know
too
they're there
late by
24
then.
7.
That's
Oh fuck,
that's
dude,
like sitting at your house
way
waiting
too
for the
late.
war to come to your front door. Like, oh, there's an army out there. Better fucking get some guns.
Yes, yeah, yeah. And that comes with experience. You know, that
Yeah,
just comes with suffering and
sure.
failing and
Yeah.
having fucking full condom, colas that are just spider mites dangling in strings. You know, you gotta until
Partying,
you get that
hanging off the
experience.
edge. You go, yoo-hoo! Fucking spider
Oh,
bites out
dude,
the wazoo.
I can't even tell you how many times I harvested, and then as soon as I'm hanging it on the hangers, all the spider mites running up to the top, and
Yeah.
they all run up to the top of the stalk, and you got these colonies of spider mites up there who just whatever, they kind of disappear, but
Ah,
they
dude.
degrade the flower.
Yeah,
It
it's not enough to
wrecks
worry
it.
about. They don't even pop when you
No,
smoke them.
true, true that. It's whatever. As long as you can make it to the finish line,
Oh my
that's
god.
really the most important, so that you can pay your bills,
Yeah,
and you
yeah,
can
that
keep
was it.
eating, and you can,
That's right. That's
and like
right.
that's what's most important, and still that's what's most important.
Yeah.
Is you've got to get your product to
I
the
wonder,
end.
I
You've
wonder
got to get
about
it in the
this.
bag into market.
I wonder about this market shifting. I mean, because let's be realistic here. Uh, the cost of indoor. I think the most successful or most valuable point for cannabis is probably going to be the light dep or the light assisted kind of indoor outdoor
Sure.
combo, right?
Yep.
You're not relying solely on electrical generation and stuff
Yep.
like that. Because I just can't see in the volume of cannabis production and consumption that we can sustain, the cost of
Yeah.
a completely hermetically sealed or fucking medically managed
Yep.
environment, dude. I just can't see that. I just don't. It's a commodity after all. Remember, it's still a plant,
Yeah.
dude. Uh,
Yep. But that indoor, it's like you aesthetically, you get the best
yeah.
product indoor. Like
Oh
it
yeah.
looks the best, hands. Like it just does it because it doesn't have any of the elements to beat it up, to abuse it.
Right.
There's no wind,
Right.
there's no rain, there's no heat and cold. There's not a lot of these stress points that degrade the flower. If it gets rained on a few times toward like right there towards the end, it just starts to wreck it. You can't really, I
Yeah.
think there's a lot to be said for even a plastic hoop outdoor
Yeah.
will take that depot. If you can keep plastic over it when you're pulling tarps, the quality is going to be aesthetically twice as good
Yeah.
as if you don't have plastic.
Yeah.
The plastic really does bring it to a level,
Isn't that
of
interesting?
not, yeah, maybe not quite indoor, but
Yeah.
like close. You can fool a lot of people with it
Yeah.
for
No, I
sure.
mean you could
And
fool a
it's
lot of people with it, man. That's the truth about it. You can fool a lot of people with it, and that's what's crazy is like the way that we're getting the intelligence around it, and you get to these greenhouses who have much better climate control. I mean, they're basically indoor growing with the sun,
yeah,
right? I mean,
yeah,
this is what they're doing, and you're looking at the product that's coming out of there, and I mean,
it's
you'd have to
fire.
be you'd have to be right on it to know the difference between that
Yeah,
and something because it's got the density and the size and the nose and it's just like you said, it's beautiful. It's well done. It doesn't
yeah,
have to deal with the harshness of the outdoor world, so it's
yep,
not getting burnt tips and all kinds of other stupid shit. It's
yep,
just being babied.
yeah. I know it. So it's a ever changing market, man. I'm
Yeah,
glad I'm not growing right now because it's so tanked. I wouldn't be able to eat.
yeah. I can't
But
imagine, man. I can't imagine.
I just feel I feel super blessed that I stepped out when I did, and opened the yoga studio that I opened, and then went back into developing this product a few years ago, and
Yeah.
it's
So
just
I
it's
mean,
been.
let's give me a little bit more insight. So you've got this thing running now, and you're starting to get some like serious people getting
Yep.
engaged here. I mean, you're doing some sales now.
Yeah, no, we're cranking, dude. We're definitely cranking. Having a hard time keeping up at times.
Is that
It's a
right?
little bit. Oh yeah, man.
That's
I
great.
mean, I essentially can barely deliver when an order comes in. I'm almost not stocked. Like I'm shipping orders that were paid for 2, 3, 4 weeks ago.
Yeah.
2 months ago. Large orders. Like, dude, I'm not stocked. It takes me 2 months to get ahead of these large orders that are coming in.
Yeah.
Because they're just. I don't have production in house.
Yeah.
If I had production in house, if I could have the equipment in house, but the reality for the equipment that I need to do this right, it's it's at least 5 million. at least to get everything I need with the facility.
Yeah, I
It
mean, I
you
think,
know,
you
I
know,
mean,
I think I could help you here. I think I could help you here, man, because I know exactly what you need because I bought it all already.
yep, yeah, no, I mean, I've seen your facility. It's baller.
You
It's
know,
pretty.
so I get it.
So
And we have about 2.5. I mean, we have about 2.5 million in what we have in our facility. So maybe 3 million if you look at it overall. Um,
yep,
but I mean, still, yeah, five's not that far off. I mean, it's easy to buy
yep.
good equipment for me anyway. I love it. But yeah, I mean, so
And that's what we
what I
want. We
did.
want the good equipment.
What's that?
We want all the best
Well,
equipment,
you
dude.
want,
I
of
mean, I
course
don't
you
want
do. Of course,
to.
yeah.
We
I
make
mean,
the best quality product, and we want the best equipment to make that. It's just like growing, dude. You want the,
yeah.
it's like anything, dude. If the better the equipment you have, the better the
Yes,
process,
sir.
the better the final
Yeah.
product.
There's
All
some
that you're
there's
not
some
going to be
machines
half-assing.
there's some machines out now that are fucking eating metal like you wouldn't even believe. Like I have a 6 kilowatt laser now, and I had it initially. First one I bought was a 3 kilowatt. Now I have a 6 kilowatt, and I'm looking at a 20 kilowatt.
Damn. And is
it,
that for speed? Is that's going to
it
speed
moves
up
so
production
fucking
or?
fast, dude. It blow your mind.
Yeah.
It just blow your mind.
Yep.
It's unbelievable.
Yep.
It's 20 fucking kilowatt, and it burns so fucking clean. There's no dross. You don't have to run it through a sander. I mean, you just fucking
Right. Yeah.
throw that shit out the back end and fucking send it. You
Yep.
know that.
Yep. Yeah, that's what I'm looking for. I mean,
Yeah.
I hope to get everything in house.
That
It's
machine's
just
about
it's a
3 million. So I
process.
mean, if you want to do that one's about.
And then you need all the components to go with it. You need
Yeah.
the tooling and everything else, right? It's not
Yeah,
just,
yeah, yeah. I mean, it doesn't
you know,
stop with a
it's,
machine like that. Yeah.
exactly.
Yeah.
There's a lot to it. And that's a whole nother industry and business in itself.
Oh
Like
yeah.
manufacturing, it's a whole beast, dude.
Yeah.
It's forget about, like, I'm up to my ears in marketing and handling
Oh
payroll
yeah.
and broadcasting and everything else and shipping and fuck, dude, like
Yeah. You
production,
need. You
like
need.
in house, is a whole nother fucking beast.
Yeah. You need more people.
And people that know what they're doing. Like I can't fucking train them to do that. I'm training people to do. I could barely
Oh
train people to do
shit.
sales
Yeah, no.
because you've got to be a grower and understand every single grower that calls to know what they're going to need. You have to
Yeah.
be them. You
Yeah.
have to understand their plight and what their harvest times are and where they're taking it and
Yeah.
all that shit.
Dude,
I
you
mean,
can't wear them hats
there's,
forever, bro. You can't.
I know, I know, I know, no, true that. I mean, I could probably handle, 10 to 15 consultations a day,
That's a
and,
lot,
you
man.
know, it is, but it's like I enjoy those, and
Yeah.
where we're at now is that's what I do. I do the consultation, I build that relationship, and then I move that to one of my project managers, and they circle back and create the 3D drawing and fill the order. And
Yeah.
I'm really only there to make sure that, kind of overseeing that process to make sure the
Good.
drawing's right, to make sure that
Yeah.
what I talked about and what I want to see that customer get, they get, and it
Right.
turns out that way.
Yeah.
That's the most important for me is like, dude, is like making sure the customer gets exactly what they need, exactly, not more, not less. I don't want to oversell them. I don't want to give them a bunch of shit that's sitting in the closet, and I don't want to sell them short where they're like, dude, we only harvested half this product, and we're coming up short. I don't want that either. I
Yeah.
want high fives at the end of the day. I want them calling me back saying, Jay, this is fucking so awesome. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Right on. And largely that's what I get. That's my experience so far.
It's a great product, man. I
Is
mean, and
you know
it's really cool. I really love it. I think like I said, I think I always I look at my trimmer as very simplest. It's very simple as well. It's basic stuff, man. But the years of work it does to make something simple is fucking phenomenal. And the
Oh my
amount of
god,
energy
yeah.
it takes. Yeah, that's what people don't understand. Like, oh, it's so simple. I
It,
should have thought that. Well,
it's
fuck
so
you.
simple.
You didn't.
Yeah, that's right, dude. You had no idea the fucking R&D I had to do and
Yeah,
how
you
much
have no
money I
idea
wasted.
how hard it was to
Oh my
make it
god,
simple.
I wasted so much money and time, and I mean, looking back, like fuck the learning curve. Still, dude, dude, I wasted so much money,
Oh yeah, yeah,
so
for
much
sure.
money, not knowing and not because I had to. Yeah, I just jump in,
Yeah,
2 feet in, and just start sorting it out.
yeah,
And
yeah. That's how you
only
do it.
through direct experience can you really get to the bottom of it. I mean,
Yeah,
concepts are great,
yeah.
and then where the rubber meets the road, dude, it might not be like that at all.
Dude,
It
you know
doesn't
what? I
work.
mean, we have products that we have. Initially, products came out really quick, because there were some really simple, easy breaches. But now, as we dig deeper into some of these more interesting kind of problems to solve, it gets fucking complex. And like our
Yeah,
grinder, we were 5 years in development, bro. 5 years. I mean, 5 fucking years,
yeah,
and that was
yep.
good years. Like those were good years of making money, and I
Good
wasn't
progress.
making any
Yeah.
money.
Yep, totally,
You know,
totally, yeah,
it's fucking
yep,
crazy, man. To think
yeah.
about
But
the
how
energy you put
satisfying
into it.
when you finally nail it,
What's that?
right? It feels great when you
Oh
finally
yeah,
get it,
yeah, yeah.
nail it.
And you,
Like, dude, this is it. It's butter.
yeah,
It feels
and you
great.
look around and there's nobody else out there. And you're like, fuck you guys, I got you. Won. I won.
Yep, that's where I'm at, man. I'm like in my own lane. I'm going 100 miles an hour, and
Yep.
I'm and anybody that I do business with, they're fucking stoked, man. That again, I'm about building relationships. I want to be friends.
Thanks again for joining the Industry Born podcast. Next time you're at the Green Bros website, you can use the promo code IBP5 for an additional 5% off of your shopping cart. Or mention the Industry Born podcast to your sales representative for additional discounts. They're fucking not worth keeping up with.
Oh
But
yeah, that's for sure. I definitely got some.
oh shit.
For sure. Yeah,
I kid. Listen, man, dude, I'm just really glad I hooked up with you, and I hope that I hope we're able to help you guys out, and I hope that works out. I think that
oh yeah, no, it's on.
one of the things that we do, what when I do this conversation, we do these. I talk to people, and then when I meet people like you who are just like not behind, but you're at where I was a couple years ago.
Yep,
So it's just like I can totally relate to everything that you're going
yep,
through. I know the experience. I've been through a lot of it. I've fucked up a lot of it. I've made it through it.
yep.
So,
Yeah, it's like
but I think,
yeah,
yeah. And so I mean, so for you, it's just like, dude, genuinely, like, if you need anything, you want to ask a question because you don't
yeah,
know or
right
you're
on.
running into something, I'm totally down with giving you my time because I love this part of it. I mean, I did
Yep,
it, and I'm not going to tell you how to do it, and I would never tell you not to do it.
yeah,
Because I love it. I love being in business. I love running my own company. I love inventing shit. I mean, I
yep,
get all of it, and I'm passionate about all of it. So I think for me, it's really this is more important to me than the cannabis aspect of it. It's just this is what fulfills me. You know what I mean? So
yep.
um, I
Yeah, no, I'm
dig it,
looking
and
forward to working together,
to
man.
see you get geeked about it and be like, dude, yeah, I'm doing this, and I'm listening to your hats, and I know you're working your ass off, and you're doing everything under the fucking sun.
Yeah,
Yeah, I get it,
it's
man.
it's
I get
it's a
it.
struggle and it's fun. You know, I'm blessed. Like I
Yeah,
said, I'm the most blessed person you've ever met. I say that to people all the time. Like I feel like
yeah.
that just because it looks ugly from the outside at times, man, I am fucking blessed.
Whatever, man.
Everybody's got
But
struggles, everybody's got things to overcome, everybody's got hurdles, everybody's got obstacles,
oh
and
my
it's how
gosh, dude.
you respond to that. That is
I had this.
determines your reality. You know,
Yeah, that's exactly right. It's exactly right. I had this guy. I remember this fucking clown. I God, fucking people, man. I mean, you don't know. You're struggling. You're working your fucking ass off. You're busting your
yeah,
balls every fucking day. You're trying to do something you don't know about. No one's really helping you because they don't really trust you yet. So they don't really
yeah,
know your product
yep,
100%. So they're not
yep,
really on side, and they're giving you little fucking shit ass advice here and there. And basically, you're just banging your head against the wall till you figure it out. And I had the trimmer, and it just hit, and it was just starting to kick off, and I had a couple of seminars I went to kind of raise money, blah blah blah. I
yep,
had this fucking ass guy, this ass clown, a fucking jackass, fucking call me, and he's like, well, actually he didn't call me. He had his guy call me, so it wasn't even the
yeah,
guy.
yeah,
It
yeah,
was the guy's guy,
yep,
this
yep.
little fucking
His
tool thing.
representative.
Yeah, yeah. And it's like, oh yeah. So, well, what we're thinking is, this guy, this guy's the greatest guy. He's really generous and blah blah blah. And I'm like, yeah, okay. He goes, I know this is hard. I said, yeah, man, it's hard. I'm struggling. I'm fucking working my ass off. I'm not
Yep,
getting paid. I get it. And
yep,
he's like, well,
yeah,
what we can do for you is we can, we'll guarantee your salary. We'll give you what you're making now. I was working two jobs at the same time, and we'll take care of all the other stuff. And I'm like, what? Yeah, I'm not doing this because I want a fucking job.
that's that's right. Trying to
You fuck yourself, man.
Yeah, that's
You're
right.
gonna give me the money I'm making now? What the fuck am I doing here?
Dude, I'd never worked a job in my life.
Ah.
I told you there for like 6 months in high school. Short of that, I've never fucking job, dude. I don't
I was corporate guy for years, man. I did military contracting and Fortune 500 shit. So I was fucking in it,
in it.
and I couldn't deal with the fucking just the fucking bullshit that was in the political side of it, and to watch the way they treat people
Yeah.
There's the invisible markers. Like, I didn't have a college degree. I still don't. Fuck that shit. I don't want one. But I didn't have one then, and I still, like I said, so
Yep.
I couldn't get over X. Like, dude, that's it, buddy. That's it. That's where you're done. You're done right there.
Yep.
Like, that's fucking bullshit, man. I'm a producer. I work hard. I'm fucking intelligent. I'm smarter than the other assholes who have these
Yep.
degrees. What the fuck's a big deal for you, man? And it just it frustrated me to the point where I just said, you know what? Fuck it, man. I'm not doing it. I'm not doing it. I'm not working
Yeah.
for these fucking guys no more. I can't do it.
Yeah, well, real entrepreneurs, they don't have jobs. They struggle, they sort it out, and they go after it, and they don't sleep. I don't sleep.
We work harder than anybody else, man.
Dude, I'm
Yeah,
18-hour
I laugh
days.
about that, Mike. Like when somebody's like, blah 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 blah, but I like my weekends. Yeah, you're never gonna make it, dude.
Yeah, I don't. My wife's complaining to me all the time, dude. I'm up at 6. I don't get home till 6 or 7. She's like, dude, do you really need to work 13, 14-hour days? Like, dude, it ain't gonna fucking get done if I don't. Like, this is the only way to do it. I don't know another way to do it.
This thing ain't building itself, man.
That's right. And nobody else can do it. Nobody else can do it for me. If they could, they'd be doing it over there.
Not yet. In a couple years, maybe you'll start to find a way to get that space back, and but right now, man, no, of course not, because it is you. It's an extension of who you are.
Yeah,
man. It's a part of you. It's your character. It's your personality. The company is your personality. I mean, you're all over the videos on it. It's like DriFlower is Jay, dude.
Yeah.
That's the end of it, right there.
Yeah,
Beginning,
building the brand,
middle,
dude. That's right.
Yeah, you're the brand, bro.
Yeah,
exactly. Down the road, if you do things right, and you get the processes and the systems in place now, you'll be able to come back out of that because you'll have those things established, right?
Yeah.
It's too hard to think about all at once, but if you think about that now, you'll get that to the point where you can step back, and then you're gonna be like, wow, dude, what do I want to do in this thing? Like, what?
I can't wait to get there, man.
What's my job
excited.
I want to do?
Right, I know. I'm excited. Yeah, exactly. I'm looking forward to that. Where I don't have to fucking be 24/7 go. I can get everything in place. But again, bootstrapped. Ebb and flow. It's like it's a balance, man. I'm fucking. End of last year, I was sitting on so much inventory because I had to. I want to make sure I could deliver on time. So then in the winter time, it just slowed down a little bit, and it's like then it's just a struggle, man, of supply and demand and inventory and fucking lead times are 6, 8, 10
Especially
weeks.
Because you got to rely on other people, man.
Yeah.
And
Yes.
the thing is, like, for me, I don't have to rely on anybody, but I have to keep these fucking machines working and running. Otherwise, I'm not making any money. And
That's right.
then I'm like, oh, what the fuck?
I know you got. That's right.
No matter what you do, you're always going to be battling to get something, man.
Something.
But I think that there's a great book, and I think it would be very valuable if you have an opportunity. It's super easy to read too, because I'm not a big reader. I'm not into these fucking novels, right?
Yeah.
It's called The E-Myth, and it's a great little book, and it talks about how an entrepreneur gets out of entrepreneurship into actual production and makes that step, that next leap, if you will. You're right in that area where this would be very helpful for you because you're going to see that, someone's going to come along and they're going to be like this magic answer guy. And you're like, oh, this is the best employee ever. And that is a trap, my friend. It is a trap. It is a trap. It is a trap. You want that guy, but you want to have that guy in a box. You want to have that.
Yeah.
You want a system around that guy in case he goes away.
For sure.
Because that's when the trap happens, right? You get a guy, they're like magic. They know all the things you don't know. They're filling in all the spaces for you, and everything just is running smooth as silk. And they fucking pack up and they fucking walk out that door, and you're like, what happened to my business?
Right. No, I know. Yeah,
no,
I know.
I recommend it. You'll get through it in a fucking couple of days. I promise. You might even be able to get it on. You probably can get it on ebooks or whatever, the audio books.
And it's called E. What's it called?
The E-Myth.
The E-Myth.
I'll put it in an email. And send it to you.
Shoot the link. Yep.
Yeah.
I need it. I can tell you right now. I can feel it. I think you're right. I need to read that book based on what you just said. I'm already. It's touching strings.
It's really cool for you to understand like that the growth process is so interesting, and I love it. This is why I love it, because it's a maturing process for an individual too. I mean, it's our natural, normal maturing process. As people go to a certain level, and it's just like in athletics. Like if you're an athlete, you play until the point where you're like, fuck, I just can't do this anymore, right?
Yeah.
Well, this is business. It's an athletic venture. It's a competitive
Sure.
venture. It's the same thing. You
Yeah, yeah,
go until you run out of, and you either educate yourself and you get better and you make things better so that things can survive,
yeah.
or you don't. And my dad never did. And his businesses all were always just small family businesses. He never made it anywhere. Now I'm running a business, like I said, it's multinational,
Yep,
international, multi-million-dollar business for doing really well. But I'm bouncing up against shit I don't know and understand. So I
yep.
mean, that's we always have to continue to do that, and it may require me having somebody run my company. I don't know,
Sure. Yep.
but
Yeah, no,
one step
I'd
at a
love to
time.
spend more time on my kids. Honestly, I'd love to spend more time at the beach and hanging out and like just watching them grow and being more involved because
Yeah,
I'm not that present. Honestly, I got too much on my
you're
plate.
working.
I'm
Yeah,
trying to build a big sandcastle here.
yeah,
It's
yeah.
so just doing the best I can, man. Doing the best I
You're
can
doing
every day.
good,
It's all I
man.
do. Try to be
You're you're
transparent
you're,
and
you're doing
maintain
good.
integrity. That's
You're doing good. You
trying to
got a
stand in
good
integrity,
plan
dude.
going. I'm
Yep.
telling you, man. I mean, I feel it. The vibes are right. The energy's right. The product's right. You're gonna be just fine, man.
Yeah. Thank
You
you.
got to learn a couple of little things
Thank
that'll
you.
help you to
Okay.
offload some of this fucking weight from yourself,
Yep.
and you'll be able to be that much more productive in your life, and
Yeah.
you'll find those spaces, man. But I totally know where you're at. I was there. My
Yep.
wife lived in Vegas. I lived in San Diego,
Oh shit.
and I saw my wife on the fucking weekends. I'm not even every weekend.
Yeah, that's
And
hard.
we lived like that for years. And that I lived in a fucking motorhome in front of my shop.
There you go.
Bro,
Yep.
that's how that was. I was
Well,
there before everybody, and I was there after
yeah.
everybody.
There you
That's
go,
how
dude.
that shit was.
Yep. You're speaking my tongue right now. That's exactly
Yeah.
how it is for me, man.
Ugh, it's fucking rough, man.
But
But
you got to put that time in. Look where you are now, and you wouldn't have got
yeah,
where you are now
yeah,
without fucking grinding like that. And it's
yeah.
nobody's gonna do it for you. You fucking
No
did
one's
it,
gonna do it
man.
for you, man.
You did
Yeah.
it.
No one, no
You're
one, no,
doing
no
it.
one's gonna do it for you. They don't, and honestly, you know what? I mean, as much as that you think that they care, they don't, because they're attached to that other thing,
Yeah.
that other part of their life, and there's nothing
Yeah.
wrong with that. I mean, you can't,
That's right.
if they were as involved in it as you are, they're probably gonna go do their own thing,
That's right.
right?
For
That's
hundred
how you
percent.
know what I mean? Because that's the that's the energy, bro.
I
That's
do.
the yeah,
Yep.
yeah.
It's hard to
And you
get
don't
that
want to
great
hold.
right hand guy because he's going to go do it on his own, dude. Like
Yeah, yeah.
they always do their own thing eventually.
Yeah, they do. They do.
So
So yeah, that's the process, systemizing, processing, so that you can get not doesn't have to be quite as good a guy, but he can
yeah, yeah,
do
yeah,
this job, and he can because you've got it. You know what that definition is, and you know
yeah,
what that expectation is, and that's where corporate that's what corporate has that you and I don't have, and that's they
yeah.
have an understanding of all the roles and functions of their business,
Yep.
you know. So that's the difference between them and us.
Yeah, well, I'm learning. I'm getting there, and again, just trying to enjoy the day. Enjoy every moment, every process, and just allow myself to be guided. Because I'm guided, man. I don't do this of myself. I'm blessed. I'm just a conduit. I just do the best I can,
Like I said, man, you can see it. I love it. I get a kick out of your videos. I watch them all,
and
and I'm not stalking you. I just watch them all because
yeah,
it's like
yeah. No,
entertainment.
I've got a great editor. My right hand guy. He does the most awesome. He does all my video editing. I mean, he fucking kicks ass. He wears way too many
Yeah,
hats. I
yeah,
he needs to be focused solely on marketing and videos, and it's just he's going to shine even more. I
yeah,
don't have time to even go to all my clients. If I had time, I need to get out in the field and be filming more. I
yeah,
can't even get enough footage, because it's just so it speaks volumes. When you see
yeah,
what we're doing in the field, it's like, dude, there's nothing to talk about. Here's what it is. Here's how it works.
yeah.
And it's fucking awesome, dude. And everybody's smiling in the background and all the, yeah. When people get at our systems there, it just changes employee morale. Like
Yeah.
you wouldn't believe, man. But fucking netting it just makes people, it just incrementally it makes them cringe every time they unload a net, dude. I don't care if they own the product or not. It's hard to, it's emotionally taxing.
Yeah,
It's
it's
emotionally taxing,
emotionally
dude.
taxing.
It is, dude. It's
It's just stupid labor, man.
it is. Yep. It's like it feels good to have nice tools. It's fun to have
Yeah.
smooth tools.
Heck yeah, it
Makes
makes your life a lot
it.
easier, man.
Yeah. Yep. Not only with labor, but just morale. Morale,
Yeah,
dude.
for
Morale
sure.
is important. You want people to be happy, and if you have
Yeah,
happy employees, then there you go. I mean, it's
they'll
fun to
take
come to
care of you,
work.
man.
You know,
Yeah, that's right.
it's
That's right.
I want people to have joy when they come to work and work with me.
Yeah,
It's
I
like,
mean, they're going to give you a certain period of time of their life. They should be fulfilled or learning or gaining or growing. That's my opinion of it. I
yeah,
mean, if you're, I told it's so funny. I had a group meeting with everybody. I'm like, hey man, if you're here for a job, you can just fucking leave, man. I don't care. Like
yep,
if you think if that's what you're here for, I don't need you. But if you're
yep,
here because you think there's something valuable and you want to learn, you want to grow, you see opportunity, I want you to stay
yep,
and I'll make life good for you.
for
But if
sure.
you're just here punching the clock, fuck off.
Yep. That's right. Yeah, I'm trying to get my yoga studio back open. I own a Bikram yoga studio that I opened in 2018. I closed it because of the pandemic, but we're just about to open it back up. And mostly it's just for me and my employees. You know, it's just for
Yeah,
us to have that practice that's fucking transformational, dude. It's like, it's epic.
yeah,
You know, my whole branding is yoga and health and family and
yeah.
can
I was
you know,
laughing at your. I watch you walk in on that video, and I'm like, what? This isn't dry. He's not doing. He's fucking doing yoga. Okay, so now I got a yoga lesson. I gotta turn the
yeah,
camera around, get on the floor, figure this
yeah,
out.
totally, dude. Totally. Yeah. And that's, people are interested in health. Really, they want
Yeah,
to feel good. People want to feel good. That's why they smoke weed, because they like how they feel. They like what it stirs in them. They're interested in feeling good. They're not interested in fucking, like, I don't know, just like gold chains and gangster shit. Just doesn't feel good. People out, like,
yeah,
they authentically want to feel good, and that looks different for everybody. But that's what people
sure.
want. That's they want to feel. They want to be happy. That's it. They
Yeah,
want to be happy. And so, I want to showcase what joy looks like in real time. What do we do? Why are we happy over here? What do we do? We're not fucking doing cocaine and all that shit. Like, whatever, to each their own. I'm not a hater,
yeah,
but I want to feel good. I know if I
yeah,
get shit faced drunk, I don't feel good, dude. That doesn't make me feel good. It never does. It's like, it's fun for like the first minute, and then I don't feel. I'm not good the
yeah,
next day, and like, I want to feel good all the time, man. And as you get older,
yeah,
health is wealth, man. Nothing, you could be a billionaire, and if you're in a fucking wheelchair, you'd trade it all to be walking.
yeah,
Guarantee it.
yeah.
Guaranteed. Because you
That's
just want
true.
to, you want the health. You want mobility. You want to function, and you don't want to
Yeah,
have fucking issues. That life sucks when you got health issues, dude. That's
it's
not
no bueno.
no
Yeah,
bueno, dude. No bueno. So,
no bueno.
I've got a method for joy. It's 90-minute hot yoga class, very specific, very scientific. You do this shit every day. You might not like it, but I guarantee the effects of it. It's like, it's gonna make you. It's like you like drinking, but you don't like the next day when you're puking for 12 hours. Right? Better to suffer for 90 minutes.
I started going to the gym with my son. I have it's a nice break for the first time in 10 years, man. I've been in the gym every day. Now I go about three times a week, and
Nice.
it's that thing, man. You're right. You do it because you know you need to, and
It-
because it's not that part of it that's important. It's the and part of it after,
yeah.
and
That's
after
right.
that
It,
when your
it,
body doesn't hurt and you
that's
feel
right.
better and you're like, dude, this is okay.
It's
You
the
look a little bit
effects.
better, you feel a little bit better, you're a little bit stronger, and you're like, oh, this is okay.
Dude, you know
Okay,
what?
so this is worth
I compare Bikram yoga to the dentist.
it.
Fucking dentist, dude. Nobody wants to go to the dentist. Doesn't feel
Yeah,
good when you're in the dentist. But after you leave the dentist, you are so happy.
yeah,
Cavities fixed, teeth fixed. There's joy. Bikram
yeah,
yoga, 90-minute hot yoga, it's torture, dude. Every single day. It never gets easier. It is fucking torture. But in between those classes, you feel like $1 million fucking,
yeah.
right? So you want to
I've
suffer for
actually
90
never
minutes
done it.
or 90.
I've been
Oh,
invited
dude.
to do it a bunch of times, but I've
You know what?
never
There's a
actually done
great studio in Vegas.
it. Is there?
There's a great studio. It's on the I guess it'd be on the west side of town. It's Bikram Yoga Vegas. Go,
Yeah,
dude.
I'll check it out.
Go, you go there. You
I'm
tell them
not
Jay.
promising shit, man.
Well, I'll promise you, if you go take that class, I promise you, when you leave, you will never have felt so good in your life. I promise you. You leave
Yeah,
that class. In the class, you're going to be fucking hating life, because it's a
yeah,
reflection of your. Bikram yoga is, it's a diagnostic tool of where you are. And when you're capable and you're strong and your internals are healthy, then
yeah,
class is not that difficult. But when your body's out of shape and your systems aren't functioning properly. You're running on oil that hasn't been changed in 20 years. Dude, you feel like
Hey,
shit.
who are you talking to, man?
It's just a diagnostic tool, dude. So people
You
hate the
talking about
class.
my
It's like,
McDonald's belly, buddy? Come
I'm
on.
just I'm just saying you can't lie to yourself, right? You
Yeah,
can't
man, you
lie
can.
about how you
Well, you
feel.
can for a while. Yeah, a lot of years you can, but
Well, you can be in denial, you can suppress it,
it
but you
starts catching
know
up
how you
on you.
feel. You know, you
Yeah,
always know how you feel. You can
yeah,
never
it's true.
deny how you know how you feel inside, and that's something that can never be. You can hide it from other people. You can disguise it, but the bottom line is, if you're angry, you know you're angry. If you're happy,
Yeah,
you know you're happy. Nobody can tell you if you're angry or happy. You fucking know how you feel. You know,
yeah,
it's just it's undeniable.
that is true. That is true.
So fucking go take a class, man. See what the dry flower lifestyle is all about. It's about joy and health and
Oh shit.
getting next level and staying there.
Yeah.
As long as possible.
I can't, like I said, I can't promise you, man.
No doubt. When I'm out
But
there
I'm
now,
getting there. You
when
got
I'm
me on
out
the
there, we
edge.
got to go to a class. I'll drag you into
Oh
when I'm
shit!
out there.
All right, I saw you do that thing where you're on doing your handstand and you're fucking. I'm like, no
I mean,
fucking
that's
way.
years of, I've geeked out. I went deep down the rabbit hole of yoga in around 2009. I got into it. And then from there, I got into like competition and trainings and like really deep.
Right on.
When I
Right.
get into something, I'm fucking all in. Like I go to the top. I'm watching guys on
Yeah.
video. Next thing you know, I'm rubbing elbows with those guys. And it's like that's my whole life. That's just how it's been. And it's not about doing handstands and all that. It's just about feeling good. And so I've progressed to a level where I'm physically capable of doing a lot of fucking cool, fun shit. But the bottom line is it's about preventative maintenance, and it's just about feeling good. You don't got to do handstands. You don't got to compare yourself to other people. You just want to feel good. That's it. Period. Let go of
Yeah.
the judgments. You got to get over the judgments of yourself, of other people. When you can overcome, the self judgment, then you'll start to overcome judging others. But first, you got to love yourself fully and accept yourself fully, and then you'll be able to love the world like I do. You know, despite
And I can
the
make them
fact that
kick-ass videos, bro. I
well,
gotta start making.
yeah, that's fun too.
Whatever, man.
I got to
I
start
love
spitting
it.
out more content. As soon as we open the studio again, I'm going to start spitting out more content of the lifestyle, smoking dabs and doing yoga and drinking green juice and raising kids, and it's not wrong. You can do that and not be a bad person. You can be a good
Yeah,
guy and
no,
do that
dude.
stuff.
It is nothing wrong with it, man. Nothing
Trying
wrong
to
with
break
it
the
at all.
mold, the weed
What
stereotype
are you
of,
drinking your green juice?
I
Because
mean, my
my
green juice is celery, cucumber, spinach, apple,
oh, that's good.
lemon, cilantro, ginger. Usually I'll put a little jalapeno in there. I do have
Yeah,
a nice stock recipe it's just money. Once you start, if you could add one fresh green juice a day, like a pint, if you just drank one fresh a day that you made yourself, it will change how you feel. You don't have to cut anything else out of your diet. You just have to add this
yeah,
to your diet, and it'll change the way you feel. You can't, and only through direct experience. That's how you find out.
yeah.
Don't take my
No,
word for it.
I have a fucking kick-ass juicer, and I was just curious. I mean, I like doing the fruit juices and stuff like that. I haven't done it in a minute. I was drinking that apple cider vinegar for a while.
Oh
I
yeah.
like that because it balances out my
Yep.
pH, makes me
Yeah,
feel
yeah, yeah.
good. I try and do some things. Most of the time, I'm not nearly where I should be, but you know, that's how
I
life
hear
goes,
that.
man.
I'm
Yeah,
still struggling to get there and stay there.
yeah.
And
It's
the
I
yoga is
mean,
a key component for me, man.
yeah, that's awesome.
It's the
I mean,
daily
the fact that
renewal.
you actually have your own studio, that's pretty cool.
I mean, like I said, it's closed right now, so I'm not even accessing it, and that's been a
Right.
struggle for me. It's been about a year since I've been in regular practice, and I'm feeling
Wow.
it, dude. I mean, I got COVID last October, and I'm still not smelling shit the same. I'm still,
All right.
it's kind of changed
That's what
me.
happened to me the first time I got that shit. I got that COVID and I couldn't smell anything, and my wife, who has an extraordinary sense of smell, I mean extraordinary. Like she's probably sommelier, at least sommelier level on her nose. She
Damn.
can fucking differentiate micro differences in
Yeah.
smells. Very very strong, very very talented nose. But she lost her smell. And she fucking blew her mind.
Yeah.
and
It's hard,
but
man.
I
You
just
don't
had it
appreciate it.
again, and it didn't do that at all. It wasn't anything like it. It was totally different. I passed it. I got. I'll be out in a minute. I got the I got the test back said I got it. I don't know, man. It was different this time.
Yeah.
Same shit.
I mean, when I got it, like I didn't even need a test, dude. I was wrecked. I mean, fucking, if you get tested and you're like, I got COVID, but I don't even feel it. Like, I don't know that you got COVID. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, the first one was different. I was down for a couple days, solid. I was like down for a couple days and felt good, felt okay, and then went down hard again a couple days. I was like, okay, this is like a fucking flu and a half right here.
Yeah.
It's pretty rough. But this last time wasn't anything like that. So, it's a little bit more cold like with a little bit of congestion and fucking headiness, my bullshit, whatever.
Well, taller, you build resistance, like naturally you build resistance when you get shit. It's like, that's just how the body works, so maybe, you had it's supposed to, but I don't, that COVID's fucked up, man. I don't want to go into that. That's
some
whole
shit.
fucked up shit, dude. So yeah, man, just over there hustling, trying to fill orders and trying to connect with customers and deliver on time and keep perfecting the product and bringing out more equipment to streamline.
Listen, I think you're doing a great job at it, man. And like I said,
Thanks.
I'm here to help you. And I think we're going to end up working together here down
100%.
in the not too distant future.
100%.
And I appreciate the opportunity for you to come on. Again, if you're listening to this podcast, you're on LinkedIn, you got to look up Jay on DriFlower because his videos are worth it, and connect with him because this company's moving up. We could feel it.
Yeah,
they've got a great product and they've got a great team, and the energy around the whole thing is just excellent stuff. We're all very excited to be a part of it. So,
yeah, thanks
again
Colin.
for coming on. If I can get Marco's attention, Marco.
Yeah, thanks for having me, man. This has been great. I love connecting. I know we're going to do good things together. In my experience so far, it's been great, man. You've been honest and awesome. So I appreciate that.
I mean, the thing about business is, I think you can do it any way you want to, but it all comes back down to you. If you have integrity,
that's right.
And just treat people with integrity. I mean, sometimes you make mistakes. That's okay. It's when you bury mistakes or you lie about it or
that's right.
Fucking, try and take advantage of somebody. That's when it gets crazy.
For sure, man. For sure.
Yeah. Anyway, I mean, we're in probably 70-80% of every grow in the country, and a lot of the ones in Canada. So, we should talk a little bit about some cross promotional stuff.
I love it. Yeah.
As well, because I mean, it's just such a great solution, such an easy solution.
I mean, shit, like you said, everybody already knows about you. You guys are. I bought one of your trimmers back in 2015 and was using it. You know what I mean? Like I used it for days, dude. I already know. We're largely unknown. Nobody even knows who we are. You guys are an icon.
Yeah, man. You're only minutes away, man. And then you're gonna be like, what the fuck?
Yeah,
you can rent my whole company over here for a whole shift, and then find out how much you like having all that equipment running around.
I mean, I'm looking forward to
Vegas.
I love it, dude. I'm looking forward to it. I mean, I'm looking forward to taking class with you out there.
Yeah, right. Now there's that.
That's a big deal. That's a big deal, dude. You're on the hook now. It's on.
I'm signed up. Oh my gosh.
Well, stoked you had me on, man. Super stoked.
Yeah, dude,
glad to be
it's
invited.
fun, man. I love it. This is just, this is my favorite time. I get to spend time talking to great people and getting to kind of get a glimpse of other people's experience in this industry. And I love the industry, and I love being a part of it. So it's cool.
That's
stuff.
What's up. That's what's up.
So Marco's not bouncing back on yet, but when there he is, what we'll do is he'll reach out, get your picture, whatever you want, if you want your logo or whatever for the episode.
Cool. Yep.
Your contact details, how people can get a hold of you, whatever you want, your deets about your socials and all that stuff.
Yeah.
And he'll send you an email, get all that taken care of, right, Marco? And then the only thing after that is when you hit the leave studio button, it's going to take a minute and it'll say it's uploading bullshit. And then when it's done, you can close it up.
Okay, cool.
Super simple.
Right on.
Thanks, brother.
Awesome, man. Thanks, guys. This has been fucking good times.
Yeah, man. Thanks for the opportunity, man. Appreciate it.
Yep. Let's talk soon.
I sent you a link already with that book, so now you're
okay.
Now you're on.
Okay. I got some homework to do. That's right.
All right, man.
Sounds good, cool. Buddy. Thanks, Colin. See you, Marco. You guys have a great day. Yep. Bye.
Later.
Thank you all for joining this week's podcast. You can check us out at GreenBroz.com and all the socials at GreenBroz.